Hello children, how are you? Hope all are well. Already you have learnt about nutrition in unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium. Today we are going to learn about nutrition in multicellular organisms. Example, human beings. Human beings have a separate digestive system in their body. So human digestive system is a very complex in nature. Human digestive system has some another names: alimentary canal and gut. Observe carefully how the food travel through the digestive system. If you observe, food is traveling through the different parts of our digestive system. They are different size and different shape, and also they perform different functions in our digestion process. The alimentary canal is basically a long tube-like structure starting with the mouth and ending with the annulus. In between these two, many parts are there. They are specialized functions. Now, what are the parts in alimentary canal? Mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, liver, large intestine, small intestine, rectum, annulus. These are the parts of alimentary canal. Now, one question. What happens to the food once it enters our body? We eat various types of food substances. These substances pass through the alimentary canal only. To utilize the food substances inside our body, they must be converted into small substances. To convert small substances, they need so many processes. In this class, we are going to study in detail. The process of breaking down of complex substances into simple substances with the help of enzymes and absorbed into the body is called digestion. In the process of digestion, each part having some special actions. We are going through them. The first one is mouth. Intake of food into our body is known as ingestion. We take the food through our mouth. So that is known as here ingestion. After that, the food is cut and crushed by our teeth in the mouth and mixed with saliva to make it wet and slippery substances. This process is known as mastication. Next part, buccal cavity. Buccal cavity having three pairs of salivary glands. Two pairs are located at the side of the jaw and one is below the tongue. They release saliva. In the saliva, one enzyme is present that is known as amylase or ptyalin. This enzyme breaks down the complex carbohydrate into simple carbohydrates. In this process, the tongue helps in mixing the food with saliva and pushing to the next part, and the lower jaw also helps in the total mastication process. After this mastication in the buccal cavity, that is pushed to the pharynx, after that to the next part, esophagus or food pipe. The masticated, soft and slippery substance of food here known as bolus. Now the bolus pushed to the food pipe through the pharynx. Bolus, which is mixed with saliva, now passes through the esophagus in a wave-like movements. The wave-like movements are known as peristaltic movement. Now the food pipe connects to the stomach. The bolus reaches to the stomach. Next, stomach. Stomach releases gastric juice and HCl. The bolus, which is reached from the esophagus, that is semi-solid in condition. Gastric juice having enzyme, that is pepsin. The pepsin breaks down the proteins into smaller molecules. HCl kills the germs and microbes in the food. In the stomach, food gets churned with gastric juice and enzymes and forms into a soft slimy substance that is known as chyme. The slimy substance chyme now passes from the stomach intestine. Between the small intestine and stomach, there is a ring-like muscle present that is known as pyloric sphincter. The sphincter acts like a valve. It allows one side only. That means the food goes to the intestine from the stomach only and it not reaches to the stomach back. The pyloric sphincter is responsible for regulating the opening of passage to the small intestine, and it allows only a small quantity of food material into the small intestine at a time. That means the total food present in the stomach at a time does not enter into the small intestine. Next, small intestine. Small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal. Total digestion completes in small intestine only. Small intestine receives the two special juices, that is liver and pancreas juices, and the condition of the food gradually changes to alkaline in small intestine. Liver produces the bile juice. It reaches to the gallbladder and stored in the gallbladder, and through a duct the bile juice reaches to the small intestine from the gallbladder. That is a very important juice that acts on fats and that turns into the fats into small globule-like structures. So the process here known as emulsification. Another juice, pancreatic juice, secreted from pancreas and reaches to the small intestine. Pancreatic juice contains enzymes like trypsin acts on proteins and lipase acts on fats and they convert them into small molecules. Besides of these two juices, small intestine itself secretes intestinal juice that is known as succus entericus. Succus entericus has the various enzymes which acts on all the food substances, carbohydrates, proteins and fats and convert them into smaller molecules. Proteins and fats completely break down into smaller molecules and the medium gradually changes into alkaline and the enzymes become active for carbohydrates breakdown. So totally carbohydrates also break down into small molecules. Total digestion process completes in small intestine only. With the help of intestinal juice, the total digestion process completes. The smaller molecules now transported into the blood. Digested smaller molecules now transported into the blood through the walls of intestine. This process is called absorption. And internally, small intestine has a number of finger-like projections called microvilli. These villi increases the surface area for absorption and villi are connected with blood vessels and lymph vessels and having a network with them. The digested molecules from the small intestine that is absorbed first into villi and from there to the blood vessel and there to lymph vessels. After maximum absorption of the food in small intestine, the remaining food passes to the next part that is large intestine. Next, large intestine. Large intestine lies around the small intestine. It has wider than the small intestine. Large intestine absorbs the water from the undigested food material and it passes through the large intestine and expelled outside through the annulus. This process here known as defecation. The undigested food contains carbohydrates, proteins, fats and roughage. That means in undigested food also some amount of food is present. So which was not digested, that will expelled outside the body in the process of defecation.